Well, just wanted to know, first of all, what's your well, I wanted to know more about how is it that the name of Spooky came from? Like where does that come from?
Yeah, well, Spooky came first the five, because instead of the S, I have a five in there. It's
Yeah.
because it reminds me to five persons that I really estimated at that time. They were really special for me, and they did not give me like the support that I was trying to get. So these five people are were really special for me, and because of that, because they didn't help me or they didn't support me, I decided to put the five to remind them and to show them that I was capable of doing the things without help, without that moral help, let's say. So yeah, it's kind of kind of hard to remember that because I always get like kind of sad. This is why I'm currently taking off that name and searching for a new one. I have actually a new one, but let's see how it goes. And spooky because pretty much all the time that people hear spooky, they don't know the real meaning, right? They think like a little dog or something like that, something cute, but spooky has another meaning. And it's the same thing with me. I mean, in my daily life, I'm like a normal person, but when I dance, I am spooky.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
pretty much the meaning of it.
Okay. And how did you come with that name Spooky? Like it was during a time that you were doing a session, or it was, I don't know, it was just kind of like doing your own, I guess, journaling, or how was it?
Yeah, I remember that I was learning English because I studied English by myself,
Uh-huh.
and I heard this word in a movie. I think they were saying like "ooh, spooky," and I said, "Spooky, what is that?" Then I searched for the meaning, and I said, "Oh, it's cool. I can work with that."
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
And for how long have you been dancing electro all this time?
Ooh, right now, 12 years, I think, probably 12 years and a half, I would say. Yeah,
Okay. So it was what, 2012, 2013, around there?
yeah, 13.
Okay. And what is it that got you hooked into electro?
Like, how did I begin? You said?
Yeah, what got you hooked? What was what's your story behind it?
Oh well, you remember Kronos? Like these guys that they
Yes,
dance
I
in Guatemala?
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like pretty famous.
Uh-huh.
And at that time, when I watched the first video of them, I was dancing only shuffle, hardstyle shuffle and that stuff because of LMFAO and the trend,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I watched a video of them and I said, "Wow, look at that!" And a friend of mine told me, "Yeah, that's tectonic," And I said, "Tectonic, yeah. You swing your arms, you do these crazy poses and all that stuff." I said, interesting." So the next time that I gathered with him to dance, he told me, "Now I'm dancing electro. This is pretty difficult." And we were like competing. It was a friendship, but we were always competing. And yeah, that's how I started. I like the vibe. And I think that I really fell in love with electro because I was also practicing finger tutting and I like shapes. But with electro, I felt something else that really touched my heart. I always say I fell in love with electro because that's pretty much what it happened.
Oh, nice. So, but was there any specific video that you were like, okay, yeah, I really need to dance that? Is there any specific, um, yeah, kind of event? Because for me, it was when I saw Yarus dancing, I was like, okay, I need to learn that dance. I really need to. When I saw Russian people dancing, I was hooked. What about you? What was it with you?
Yeah, it's kind of nice that you mentioned Russian people because for me it was the same, but with Eddie Electro. With Eddie, when I saw Eddie in Vertified 11 in the final against Jarus, I said, "Oh my God, like this guy has a lot of moves and his energy is really high." So yeah, that was the video that I said, "No, I need to train. I really need to train because I want to achieve that. I want to go to that level."
Oh, okay. And what do you consider your current status in electro dance? As in, like, do you want to kind of just stay with it just as like as a dancing? thing or a hobby, or do you want to eventually get into the more professional level to, teach it sometime in the future, or like what is it that you want to do with electro?
Well, right now it's kind of difficult for me because I'm in a part of my life that I kind of how can I say this? Kind of thinking on what I want with electro, because my view really changed after LRC. It changed a lot after synesthesia, this event in Argentina. It changed a lot, and now with LRC, it changed a lot more. But not only because of the event, but with the things that I lived in there in Paris, especially the things that I talked to Singa, the things that I talked to Anton. Anton, Anton from Russia,
Yeah.
and the things that I talked to Neutron because I was living in his house for 4 days, I think. And we really shared a lot of things in there, which made me think, what I really want. But right now, spoiler alert, I'll be giving electro dance classes here on Saturdays, starting on February. So that's a project that I have because I really feel prepared to start a community here. I have more time right now. I have a good job also that will be allow me to get to more people, and so that's pretty much where I am at right now. I'm training. I changed my whole training theory, I call it, because the previous one was not working, and it was kind of like a mountain. I was like rowing at the time that I was training with Singa, and then I fell because I started to do some other things that were not working for me, but I was just doing them so the people will get happy to see me doing those things. So I don't know if you get it. kind of crazy.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. I see where you're going. So that raises a question. How is it that you train at the moment? What is it that is working for you, like on training? How is it that you're able to develop your style?
Yeah, it's pretty much that. I was for LRC. I was training just like combos, let's say, just trying to do new things, but I was like pushing myself to do and to create new things. That didn't really work for me because I had to maintain my own style, which is like pretty much just freestyle and just be free and just come up with things that come in the moment. Probably you have heard that from Singa that he's searching for the reason of the step. Well, at the time that I was training that, it was working really good for me. And it's not that the training that I was doing before LRC was not working, because any kind of training works. It's just that it didn't feel good for me. I wasn't enjoying it. I was just thinking on, okay, I need to win the crowd. I need to do this because this guy do this, and yeah, it's not the way. So right,
Yeah,
yeah, no, no,
yeah.
tell me.
Yeah, so I think I know I understand where you're coming from with this because I've also caught myself, for example, whenever I'm training or whenever I'm training with Vega, I sometimes I kind of want to impress, instead of just feeling the music, you have to like feel the song. And I think I know where you come from with that, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard though, because uh, it's kind of hard, and I said to myself, why was I doing that? Because when I went to Argentina, I was just dancing for myself, just feeling myself like really cool. I think that I did represent my style in there, and the people was feeling me. I mean, I don't know if you watched the video from my demo,
Your
but
demo.
that moment was like my prime, because the people was hugging me and they were like, oh my god, they were feeling it.
Yeah.
And that I changed like my style. Let's say I was not doing the things that I was working on. It had like an impact on my style, and I didn't feel good. But
Mm.
it's an experience. It's about being more mature with myself, with my style. So let's see how it goes next time.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of dancing, right? I mean, I think as you develop your dancing level and your style, it's because you mature as a person, so it kind of goes both hand in hand. And I think that's the beauty of dancing. I think a lot of times, uh, I guess just in, I guess the way I've been dancing for all these years and everything, I've been feeling stuck for a long time, and it's up until right now that I'm able to be exposed to many different electro dancers that I'm just able to get the inspiration and not just trying to kind of copy their style, but it's more like, okay, how is it that this guy feels the music, like that sense of being going beyond the fact of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna copy that step. It's more like, okay, how is it that he or she's feeling the music that I want to feel that, and I think that's something that I've learned through the times that I'm doing that podcast right now at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, and you will learn a lot because I was doing some kind of thing like this, but not like really produced when we were in the COVID pandemic, pandemic. I was interviewing people. I don't know if you probably watched some of those things that I did, but I interview Error from Colombia, Cosmo from Mexico, and some guys from Argentina, Peru, and I was like, they were excited that I was interviewing them, but I was like, okay, like noting and all those things that they were telling me, and I did learn a lot. So it's cool that you're doing that. And also, if you have the opportunity to share dancing, like just a normal cipher, you will learn a lot. Like that's the way.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely ciphers. Well, talking about ciphers, what is it that you just learned right now with the experience with the LRC that you just experienced right now? When you went to Paris, what is one thing that you would like to share as if that you learned from there?
Well, it's the way that they live electro, like the
Okay.
way that they actually live electro. They do live it, They have electro in theaters, in the streets. They have electro in museums. They have electro everywhere, They do live electro, and that's what I liked it. And they actually protect it, It's not like sometimes I used to feel like popping is above electro, because it has more history, or even hip hop, it has a lot of more years than electro. But in Paris, they do take care of it, like they defend it, and that's something that I really liked it. And I can say that they do leave electro. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm putting electro everywhere where I go. Like, for example, I have a normal person job, and some people in there, they didn't know that I dance until I went to Paris. They saw the pictures and all this stuff. But now they ask me, like, how is it that you dance? And I start like do a butterfly. Look at this, or I don't know, something here. I don't, you
Yeah.
know. And I'm actually living electro right now because I put it everywhere I go. So that's the thing that I liked about Paris.
They actually live it. This is not the first time that I've heard of that, because we interviewed Quasi from Tijuana as well,
Oh yeah.
and he said that the exact same thing that I'm quoting him. He said, "Estos güeyes viven el electro. Estos güeyes like these guys, they live electro, as in like they breathe it every day." And I think that's actually pretty cool because I think it's a patrimony already of France, in my opinion, in terms of arts. Just because even though electro, it's taken from all these styles, in on itself, it's forming. It goes through kind of like a combination of so many styles that it's its own thing already, and it stands with electronic music, specifically with well, right now I feel like the electro dance community is doing a pretty good job of taking a lot of genres within electro and applying the dance style to all of them. And not just
Yeah.
that, they go beyond that. I've seen choreos with electro dance. I mean, they're dancing electro, but with hip hop. They're dancing electro with different type of music, and I think that's pretty cool because you take that dance into a different level because you have to adjust your your listening to that aspect. But yeah, I mean, going back to the topic of, yeah, they live electro. I think that's pretty cool because it's same thing here in LA. People live hip hop. Like
Yeah,
in LA, I feel like right now what we're doing with Vega here in LA, I mean it's right now it's pretty small because it's just a podcast and we're actually about to start doing sessions here in Los Angeles. But like if you see the hip hop culture here, especially in North Hollywood in the west area of LA, it's like these people they they're very into it. And then I didn't go to Bronx when I went to New York, but I've seen people, in Manhattan when I was there that they were just dancing there, and I think that's pretty cool because it's the same thing in France that they leave electron. I'm pretty sure it's like a Disneyland of electro dancers going to the
yeah.
LRC, right?
Yeah, it's really cool. Like if you go to, I hope that you can go to LRC someday whenever you can, of course, because it's a lot of money. But you will see that you just enter in there and you see like the big names, these guys that you're watching on YouTube. And yeah, it's like you feel like wow, and it's an impact. It's an impact that you say, oh my God, I'm facing all these guys. But
Yeah.
it's something normal that happens. But it's just about enjoying too, because you're already in there. It's a big achievement.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, definitely a big achievement. And well, congratulations to you because you went there to represent the electro dance from Guatemala. Not just there, but also you've been doing that in Mexico and also in Argentina. I think yeah, you've gone like 2 times to Mexico, right?
I actually went 4 times. 4 times.
4 times already.
Yeah,
Oh, oh. When was the first time that you went to?
was 2017. I went there for a small event in Chiapas that it's close to Guatemala.
Hmm.
I went to the finals. I lost. Second time was Electro Dance Camp 2018. Third time Electro Dance Camp 2019. And last time was in 2022. I went as a judge in an event. So yeah,
Oh, okay. What state did you go to in Mexico
it
for the
was in
job?
Chiapas. Yeah.
Oh, in Chiapas. Okay, nice. Yeah, I don't think I've seen the videos of when you've gone to Chiapas, but I've seen the videos when you've gone to the electronics camp.
Yeah.
The one that you went against Dano or to the
Yeah.
semifinal. Yeah.
That
Wow.
battle, man, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I saw it and I'm like, okay, like that's pretty cool. That seeing a Guatemalan, against, I think Dano is one of the OGs from electro dance in Mexico, and I think, you gave him a good battle. Now that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Found.
So now, quick question. I think I want to go back to the LRC, but I had a question regarding that, and it was the same thing about the way they live electro. Uh, like what is it that you saw there that they were doing different than other countries like in Mexico or Argentina? What is it that France is doing differently that is actually, it's it's a tighter community?
Yeah, I think that it's not just about them, but it's about the country itself. It's a first class country, um, and just because of that, because they actually help the people to do art and to live with that. So that's something that they have, like something really positive. They have this place called Son Quatre that it's 104 where all the artists go to this place because it has like big rooms, for you to dance. And in there you can see like the big names from crump, from hip hop, from electro. It's something really normal for them. So you can just go with them and practice. Let's say, I don't know if you're into crump culture, but for example, I went there and I was training with Neutron and Rhythmic. And then I saw that there were some crumpers, and I saw a wrestler in there with no script. And I was like, what? Like a normal training, and these guys were doing like just it's in there, it's no script. So like creating that community, I think that it's cool and that they are supporting themselves. Like all the people was saluting Naim, Neutron, Milliard. They were all like, hey, how you doing, guy? and hey, we need to train. Yeah, we can do it on Tuesday. I don't know, something, you know. So that really changed my mind because I used to think that doing the things by myself, I was capable of doing everything. So I changed my mind right now, and I really want help from the people from here, from Guatemala, and I know that I can help them. So this is why I'm like getting into more with the people from here because I want to help them and they can help me, you know. So that's something that I think that France is doing that some other countries probably not.
Mm.
Like community, you know?
Community, like a tighter community, in that sense. Kind of also going with other communities, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Someday you can train with walkers and some other with hip hoppers and so on and so forth.
Yeah. I think that the what makes sense to train with it's yeah, people with voguing that they do vogue and
Yeah,
whacking because I mean it's a lot of arm movement, so I'm pretty sure the styles will apply to any sort of electro dance music because they actually dance in their way electro, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so again, going to back to LRC, would you mind sharing how much is it that it costs to go to Paris to actually go there and make the investment? Because I think the audience in the podcast they have to know, they have
Yeah.
to know in terms of dollars like how much it costs, and I think it will be valuable for them to actually see the budget that it
Yeah.
takes.
Well, it depends at the time that you buy the ticket, you know, because for me, I bought it like 3 months before the tournament.
Hmm.
And because of holidays and all that stuff, it's kind of more expensive, you know, because it's close to Christmas. It cost me like $1,800, I would say. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, for you guys in USA, it's like really cheap because you have like direct flights to there. I
Oh,
have
that's
to go
true.
to Panama and to Panama to Madrid and to Madrid to Paris. Like, ugh, you know,
Yeah.
like so. Yeah, but it's like it's worth it. Like the experience is worth it. And now with food and all that stuff, I was in a hotel. It cost me like 60 euros a night. I remember it included breakfast and then with food probably I was spending 30 euros per day with lunch and dinner and some other things that you buy, you know. So that's kind of the money that you can expect to spend in there.
So would you say that, well, that's 1,800 the flight a round trip, or it was
Yeah,
just one flight? Just
no,
okay,
around.
round trip.
Yeah,
Okay, so if I making, I guess, well, how many days do you stay there?
I stood there almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks, like 1 week and 5 days.
Oh, that adds up. That
Yeah,
really adds up. Yeah.
yeah,
So it is safe to say that maybe it's like around $4,000 to $5,000 around there, the
yeah,
trip.
yeah. You can say that. It depends because if you want just to stay in the hotel, you will be spending less money. You know, but if you want to go like to the tourist things, well, you will spending more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see why it's very difficult for people in Latin America to actually go there because I mean, yeah, I mean, I would agree here that in the US, yeah, it's better and cheaper in a lot of ways. It still is a bunch of money for a lot of people, for like for people in the US, but I would say that it's extremely more in Latin America because you earn in pesos, you earn in quetzales, you earn in you know, in soles, in their own currency. And yeah, yeah, I can see why it's so expensive. So I guess just for everyone in the audience, just that's how much it costs to go to Paris.
Yeah, I mean, it's more expensive in Guatemala, you know, because we have a little airport.
Mm,
So the big planes they don't come here. You always need to go. with a little plane to Panama or Mexico, I don't know, to the big plane that will go to the country. But yeah, in Mexico, I think that it's a little bit more less expensive. And to Argentina is the same, so it depends, and also it depends the date, you know.
Yeah. Well, the bad thing about LRC is that it's near to Christmas, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
or
So that's
December.
when yeah, so that's when the tickets are more expensive and the hotels are more expensive because everyone wants to go there for Christmas, I guess. Well,
Yeah,
Paris or any city around the world that is a metropolis, like Paris. So pretty sure everyone like it's expensive for that same reason.
yeah, like New York, let's say, it's also expensive.
Yeah. Now for you, do you have to get a visa to go to France, or do you just have to get a permit?
No, just with the passport. You can go just with the passport. You can stay there for 3 months in the whole Europe, in the whole European Union. And yeah, they don't put that much things with us from Guatemala. Thank
Uh,
God.
yeah, because I'm pretty sure there may be other countries that they have to get a visa to go
Yeah,
there. So that's it.
example, it's really hard that they get the visa, you know.
Who was it?
Russia,
Oh, Russia. Oh yeah, Russia. Yeah, I can see why.
because all these things that are happening, you know.
All politics basically. So
Yeah,
yeah, that sucks, man. We could get rid of that one day. I think that would be really good for the dancing community. All of
yeah,
those
man.
restrictions.
I would be in the USA every year, you know, if I would be able to get my visa really quick.
Mhm.
I haven't even attempted, you know.
Yeah, but it's quite hard to get a visa to the US and Latin America. I think essentially everywhere in the world. I think just people in Europe, they're able to come here for like basically for almost doing nothing
Yeah,
because they have a European passport and the European passport actually is worth a lot.
yeah,
Yeah. Damn. So, okay, now I want to talk more about I want to know how or like what's the way that you judge events. Whenever you judge a battle, what is it that you take into account? Because you told me that you've judged in Argentina, you have judged in Mexico as well. And I guess in your experience, what is it that you have that you see in a battle? What is it that you actually qualify? Because I think well I was speaking with a Skyder and he told me that yeah, you can pretty much tell who has better level than other and everything. But I think I'm very subjective in that aspect because I sometimes I like the style of another dancer over the other. So that weighs a lot of it on my end. Not because I know them, but because I actually, I like the style. So what is it that how is it that you judge events?
yeah. It's this thing that you mentioned is kind of complicated because we will always have a favorite kind of style, you know. For example, I can say that I like more the style for from Neutron than my own style, that the style from Spooky. So you need to have this into consideration that at the time that you're judging, that doesn't affect your decision. Because for example, we have this guy that it's like pure combo, he's doing technical things, and then there's this guy that he's zero combo, he's like doing his own things at the moment and doing crazy arm swings, you know, he doesn't use the floor, but the other guys does.
Mm.
So you need to know if they're at the same level in their styles. You can actually see this, you know. You can actually tell if a person has 2 years dancing and the other one that has 10 years. Because you see that their dance it's already an old man and or a child, right?
Yeah,
You know what
definitely.
I'm saying? This
Yeah.
actually happened last year here in Guatemala. Some guy they did a cool event like top event. For me, it was really top. It was really cool. Some guys from El Salvador came, and I don't want to mention names, but there was this girl in the semifinals against this guy, and the girl won. But I said, how is it possible that she won? Because you can actually say that this girl has like 2 or 3 years dancing. She has really good combos. She is creating her style, but then there's this guy that already has his style. He has basics. He's creating skills like signature skills. So he had to win. You know,
Yeah.
it's over. But the judges decided that she won. So okay, that's cool. So yeah, you need to have this into consideration. Um, and for all style battles, it's pretty difficult because, for example, if you haven't seen a pro crumper in person, it will be shocking, you know. But if you're more used to see an electro dancer that it's pro, it will be more shocking the crumper, you know, because
Yeah.
you're used to see the electro one. So the electro one won't be like shocking. So pretty much you will be deciding from the for the crumper because he was shocking. But
Mm.
it's you need to have to take this into consideration too because they have the both the same level. It's just different styles. It's just that your dance, your eye is not used to see the crumper. So this is something that that you need to take care of, you know. uh, but now answering your question, what I see is that they are actually freestyling.
Mhm.
They are actually living the moment. um, that they don't cut their feeling. For example, you're doing something here, you leave it and then do something here. No, it has to be something that from here you go here. You know, it has a meaning, right? Why am I going here? You know.
All
So
right.
I don't know if I
Well,
explain
yeah, I mean,
myself.
it has to have connection, right? Connection of all the
Yeah.
movements. It
No.
has to
No.
have
No.
some sort of storyline, I guess, in some sort of
Yeah.
way.
Not like a storyline or storytelling or something like that, but that it has sense, that it has sense, and that the step and the steps are alive, that they are living the moment. You know, I know that you have heard this from Singa because he says it a lot. So he taught me that because I was like I was just like doing combos like look at this, you know, like,
Yeah.
hey, ooh, right? But not actually living the moment, which is when you actually do the things, you know?
Yeah. When you're present, that's what he said. Like when you're present, actually being conscious, having the conscious or being conscious of the movements that you make and actually
Yeah,
living it, not just because of muscle memory. Yeah.
no.
I remember he told me that and I was like, okay, yeah. I have a lot of muscle memory, dude, because I feel like my style has a lot from the Mexican style of electro. Because yeah, there is such a thing as Mexican style. Yeah, whenever you go and you like like whenever you do the punch, the aggressive punch. And I feel like in a lot of ways I have a lot of muscle memory, not just on the punch, but on the combos that I make. And when I was taking a class with Singa, I was like, yeah, I was dancing, and he was like, no, but you're you're making movements, but you're not present. Like you're not actually doing the movement, and you're not making the conscience. How is it that he said I want to quote him, but he said something about you're not living in the movement, and that's really
Mhm.
true. You know?
Yeah, 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 it is true. We worked that in the first year that I was training with him. So it was really shocking for me because how is it that I was dancing for 9 years and then somebody comes and says your steps are not alive, you know? So it's like reality check, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, it's something that you need to work. That's what I meant. That's what I meant when I said that I changed my way of training when I was training for LRC, and I was not following the things that I was training a lot. So I just left that and said, okay, this doesn't work, and then I'm coming here, which was actually not working. So is the thing that you said actually?
Okay. Nice. Um, I want to get your opinion on something. I want to know at the current moment, I guess, well, right now we're in 2025. At the current moment, who do you think is, or maybe you could give me a top three, if you have top three, but who do you think is the best electro dancer as of right now? Like who has
Wow,
the crown?
Miel. Miel is the best. Miel has a lot of has another level of movement. Like you cannot. There's nobody that moves like him. To be honest, when I went to France, I was excited to see Miel, but he was not like my favorite one, let's say.
Yeah.
But when I first saw him in the pre-selection, no, that's another level, man. Like
Mm.
he's been training a lot. He's pure electro. He's the number one for me. Like I watched the video on YouTube and I saw all the comments, from the
Yeah.
final, and I said, nah, these guys, like, if you were not in there, you cannot give your opinion because I mean,
Oh,
for Nico, it's another level too. But man, like Miel, you nah, another thing. Yeah, just
that,
speechless. Yeah,
that's actually a good perspective because same thing. We've been talking with other people on the podcast, and yeah, I saw it on Twitch. I was there on the live thing. And then when I saw that battle and when they gave it to Miel, I was like, I'm actually seeing Nico actually won this one. He won this one. But yeah, I think it's true that sometimes the videos they don't do justice to the level of dancing that you actually experience when you're present. So that's another factor that a lot of people don't see. And
yeah,
that's actually really true what you're saying right now.
yeah,
So Miel is your top one at the moment right now. He's like,
yeah.
okay,
For me, he's the top one. Second one would be Miax because he's really hard to beat. He has a lot of presence, just same thing as Mia, but because of body movement, for me is Mia. Second one would be Miax, and third one, this one's tough. This one's tough because Singa is my teacher, he's my master. But I would put him. I would put him in third one.
come on. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. That's good. Okay, so well, all right. So now talking about the top three dancers, right? So what what's your reference style? Like, where is it that who is it that you started learning from, or like where is it that your style is referencing from? Even though right now maybe it doesn't have to reference right now, but when you were developing your own dancing level, who were your references at that moment?
First was Looney Boy because I learned all basics from him, from his tutorials. I think that a lot of dancers have watched his videos,
Yeah.
like like space, rotor, and all that.
Mhm.
And first one was Looney Boy. I watched all of his battles and all that stuff. And after that, it was also Eddie because he had some tutorials. I really liked the Eddie style. He has a lot of vertigo, the arm swinging and all that stuff. And then I think that my reference was like Goku and
Oh, I see a lot of Goku in you. Yeah, the
yeah,
demo that the demo that you did in Argentina, I can see that.
yeah. It's because of Crump, because I've been like training Crump, and Goku is Crump with Electro, or Electro, you know. But yeah, like Goku was one of my references because he's really experimental too,
Yeah.
and so I like it. And then it was Singa. I watched his videos from Move and Prove, and then when he went to LRC and he won it, and I think that I stopped there. I stopped with Singa because I really liked the way that he danced. And nowadays, I can tell you that one of my big references is Mia because it was really shocking to see him dancing in there, and also Retro from Argentina. He's one of my references, and I would put him in number four. You're not asking, but I would put him in number four because he has created his style is really different than any other dancer in the world. I mean, he has a lot of groove, electro groove, but in his own way. So that's something hard to beat. He's a tough guy to beat. When he won Synesthesia, the 2v2, he was not training. he was not in shape, and you can see the videos how he was dancing. It was wow, you know. So now he's training because I've been telling him, you know, you need to train, you need to develop your style and all this stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's one of my references right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I have to see more videos of retro because yeah, I think I dive a lot into the Mexican electro dancing. So yeah, I don't usually currently I'm watching more of the South American style. But yeah, I've seen, for example, I would say I like a lot the style of Ivalde. Ivalde is really good, in my
Well, yeah,
opinion.
Ivalde, yeah, he's hard to beat too. He has a lot of groove, and he actually lives the moment. He does
Yeah,
live. He does, man.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so now going back to the referencing of your style, I want to open up more in your own words. How is it that you will describe your style in electronics? How do you
uh,
describe it in words?
yeah, revolution. Just with one word, revolution. Because I don't know if you knew, but here in Guatemala, dancing electro it's a revolution. Everybody is dancing reggaeton, breaking. Nowadays they're dancing hip hop, the real hip hop. Walking has become a trend here. K-pop, and nobody's dancing electro. And this has been something about that it's coming from years ago. You know that Guatemala had a big community in 2011, I think, that we were all going to Miraflores and dancing in there like battles.
Were you part there of the group that
I
was
was
going
just
to?
I was in the last one, man. I was starting dancing there. I was starting to dance at that time, and I just went to the last meeting that they had. Just watch, and there were these big names, and
Yeah.
it was cool. But then everybody stopped dancing because of the people that they were judging them. So dancing electro for me has been really hard because of that, because of the social impact.
Mm.
Because people see electro as just a hobby. He's not doing something serious. Nowadays has been changed because of myself. I can say that because they see electro like, wow, he's dancing electro. He's tough guy to beat. Because I've been winning a lot of all style competitions here. But before that, it was a revolution.
Hmm. Okay. That's a
Yeah.
that's a nice word. That's a nice word to describe your style. I think that's pretty cool. That you're able to, just out of the get-go, just say the word. Okay, revolution. It's this. Huh. Yeah, I also started dancing electro in 2011. But I never went to any of the meetups. Any of
No.
the No, because they were. Yeah, I mean, I never really left the colony that I used to live at. I never left it. So the only thing I did was just upload like YouTube videos to YouTube. That's it. That's the only thing I did. Uh, the one I remember, I think it was Hans, I believe. That's the one that I think he was a top in Guatemala back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what is of him actually right now at the moment, but yeah, he had a good style for the moment back then.
Yeah, I contacted these guys from Kronos, and just one of him told me that he was not into electro anymore, but he was dancing contemporary dance. Uh, and he told me like, "Hey, we can meet up any of these days, and we can share something." And I said, "Okay," but I never received an answer to. I don't remember the name of this guy that I contacted, but he was from Kronos. And yeah, pretty much everybody disappeared. And it's been tough, but now there are other times.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you have competed in all style dance battles as well, right? In Guatemala?
I have competed in more old styles than electro battles, to be honest.
Yeah, because there are more all style. dance battles, then electro. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely makes sense. Yeah, I mean, as of right now, we are a very small community around the world. I think in comparison to any other style, but I think eventually, I mean, it's gonna grow. Which brings me to the next question: how is it that you see electro in the future? Where do you see it going?
Wow. It's growing really fast. It's growing really fast, and it's going to places which electro it is not already in there, but it's going there. Like for example, it's in the Olympics already. Like there are some other styles that they have been growing their community from a lot of years, and they are not in the Olympics.
Mhm.
So I see electro growing more and giving more respect to itself. But it depends. It depends on us that we are the dancers, right? It depends on you that you are doing this podcast. Like just doing this, it's a lot, man. Because probably a random person that doesn't dance will see, hey, this guy is Spooky from Guatemala. He's dancing electro. What is that? Okay, let's listen to this podcast, and then they will start like watching in YouTube or Instagram the videos, and they will say, oh, okay, look at this guy. He's Nivek from USA. Like, wow, he's dancing really cool. Ah, this is the guy from the podcast. So it depends on us where the electro is going. Like right now, I put myself in this situation that where is the electro going in Guatemala? If I don't move myself here to create a community, it will not create by itself.
Mhm.
So it depends on us, but I see it growing.
Nice. That's pretty good. So right now, is it just because I think as far as I know in Guatemala, I think it's just you and someone else that dances electro. I think his name is Alejandro.
Yeah, Jandro, he was my student for several years, and he's not like really active, but he's dancing like some days not, because he's married already. He has a family already. I mean, I think that he doesn't have. Let me put this here. I think that he doesn't have a family like a kid or a baby or something like that. But he's already married, so it's kind of tough because he has to work and
Yeah.
to he cannot put himself just in electro as I am right now, which I'm single. I have my job, but
Yeah.
yeah, I have more time.
Yeah, I think I mean just living as an adult, you have to pay rent, you have to pay everything, all these bills, but then you can do this as you're sighting in the moment while you build stuff. But yeah, when you have a family, yeah, it's very difficult. It's just
Yeah,
I mean I think if you're married, I think that's fine, but once you have kids, yeah, it's like, you have to be a good father and everything, and you have to actually do that.
yeah,
But well, that's something else that I also want to kind of put into um
on the table.
on the table, yeah. Because I what I do for a living, I am an accountant, right? So I'm an electro dancer, but I'm also an accountant. So I do two things at the same time and everything. What's your profession at the moment?
Yeah, I studied to become a translator and interpreter. This is why I love languages. But I'm not working in that because I didn't finish college. I just finished the technical degree, but didn't get the bachelor's degree because I decided to continue dancing. So right now, what I do is that I'm a community manager from Fitbit, the smartwatches.
Oh, yes, yeah, yeah.
These guys they have a community which I am the moderator. So I'm the moderator from this community in Italy. So I every day I do post in Italian and all that stuff.
Oh, shit. Nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. That
Yeah,
sounds
it's cool, because I can save money.
yeah,
But it's not like something that I love to do. I would love to just give electro dance classes and just dedicate my life on dancing, but yeah, it's like a trampoline which will take me to that place.
yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I think regarding myself, I I don't want to say that I don't like what I do because I like being an accountant, and I think this is the cool thing about it that I think with the skills that I have developed and also with the way that I'm able to organize, set the formalities of legal structures and of entities and everything. I think at some point later on in the future, I think I'm gonna do that for the electro dance community. I think what I feel like what I have been bringing into the podcast into the community as far as right now with Vega is that I think we bring a sort of sense of professionalism into the community, which I think it needs because in order for you to grow something, you have to. I mean, you have to have fun with it. I think that's a main priority. And at the same time, I think you have to make sure that if you want it to grow to the level that you want it to grow, I think you have to put professionalism in there. So I think that's what I bring into that community a lot, and that's something that you can bring into that community a lot because I think just by just by the fact that you speak French, I don't speak French, but just by the fact that you already know four languages, you know you can do something with it for the electronics community. You can do you can do translations, in person. If there's an event, you can actually translate what's happening because there are some people that they don't know how to speak English or how to speak French. They may only know how to speak their native language, and I think that's pretty cool. You know, that's something that we bring into the community, and I think that's something that it will benefit a lot worldwide.
Yeah, yeah, and you're actually right because second time that I went to Mexico, when Spook was giving his speech, let's say, because he was like talking there for probably 1 hour. Um, like these guys, they had a translator, but he was not translating okay. He was like doing like saying some other things that I was like, hey guys, like this guy doesn't know English, or probably he does know English, but he doesn't know how to translate. So I was like with Retro, with Tanya, and some other guys from Colombia. I was translating them what Spoke was saying, and they were like, "Oh, thank you, man, because we don't know English and we really wanted to know what was he saying." So that, yeah, that's an advantage. These hard skills that you learn, they are really cool. And I know that with what you know from accountability, you said, right?
Counting.
Accounting. Yeah, accountability is something else. Yeah, I have my accountability. No, but with accounting, you can do some good events, actually, some good events, and how to manage a community too.
Yeah,
So that's a hard skill that will help you, and I
yeah,
motivate for you to continue doing that.
definitely. So, okay, I have some other questions that I wanted to ask you. So, first of all, I wanted to know what's your favorite song of all time in electronics?
Oh, my favorite one. That one's tough. I would say that it's this time from DA Antoine, I think,
Yeah,
but it's called remix. It's a remix. So
oh,
yeah, that's a song that I listen to it and I'm always like, nah, I need to move myself, like I feel it. And the other one, it's a song it's from actually LMFAO, Dead Mouse. It's this song that from the Battle of Naim against Miniash, you know, from Verify.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is one that to it's the
Yeah.
one that I really love, and I always need to move myself when I listen to it. I would put this too.
Was it from Deadmau5, that song? Yeah, right. It had to be from Deadmau5.
Yeah, it has like a lot of DJs in there. It was one of these songs that like 10 DJs produce it. So yeah, I can share the name. It's just that I don't remember right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know which song you're talking about. And yeah, I remember that specific battle of Naim and Miniache.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, well, I think too. I don't want to ask the same question to every dancer that I meet, but I actually need to ask it. Do you think there is such a thing as pure electro?
Yeah, it is. For me, well, for me. every electro dancer is pure, For me, everyone has their own style. Yeah, there are some trends like the Mexican style, Argentinian style, French style, Russian style. They all have like the same vibe, let's say, but they always have something different. So for me, the pure electro does exist if you believe it. If you don't believe it, it will not be pure electro. For example, if you say I dance hip hop, but you actually don't, you actually know that you're dancing reggaeton. That's not hip hop because you don't believe it. Everything is in here. If you believe it, that's how it is. This is something that I worked by myself because I used to think that I was not dancing electro. Uh, after the second time I came here from Mexico,
Mhm.
I did believe that I was dancing electro. And when I started believing that, all the people believed that I dance electro. So I was a reference already from the electro. So it doesn't matter what I do right now. If I'm just doing things on the floor, everybody will think and not think, but they will believe that I'm dancing electro because I know it. I believe it. So that's how I see it.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective. Um, okay, that's good. Okay, to close the podcast episode, I would like for you to give the audience what will be the three advices that you will give to someone that is starting on electro dance at the moment. Three
Ooh,
advices.
yeah, good one. First, just believe in yourself. This is something that I would like to say to the little spooky that started dancing. Like, I would like to hug this guy and tell him, hey, just believe in yourself. Um, and it's something really emotional for me because right now I'm passing from this point that I'm like letting go Spooky and keep this new guy, because Spooky has been really special for me. But yeah, I will tell him just believe in yourself, achieve your dreams, but not just achieve them because you need to fight for your dreams. It's something really hard to say, especially if you're in hard mode, as in Latin America, because we are living in hard mode here. um, Fight for your dreams, and everything is possible. Everything is possible. I will give this as an advice because just put yourself in this situation that you have saved money to go to the world championship, that you have um, spend a lot of not spend but like taking a lot of time to train to the world championship, and you don't pass the pre-selections. How would you feel? But it's not just the pre-selections, it's just not the competition, because the next day you go with your master, with your professor, to record a video, and he invites you to lunch, and you spend a good time with him. That's a dream that comes true. I never knew that that would happen to me, and it did. So everything is possible. Everything is possible. It's just for you to believe in yourself, and it's just for you to fight for it. It depends on you, nobody else.
Damn, you're gonna make me cry, dude.
Bro, always crying here because, as I said before, leaving Spooky out of my life right now, it's been really hard, but yeah, it's something that it has to be done.
That's yeah. I mean, the three things that you just said right now, they were very uh, powerful, in my opinion. It's just because uh, I think a lot of people need to hear that, especially people that are going through a difficult situation, even if they're dancers. So I really want to thank you for that. I appreciate for those three advices that they were really powerful. Well, dude, so I think this is the end of the podcast episode. I hope we can do a part two later on. Uh, when you are able to, travel to other different places and everything, or whenever you have developed community over there in Guatemala, I would like to take notes from you on how is it that you're growing it. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
No, thanks to you, man, for for doing these kind of spaces, because this is not something just for you. This is something that you're doing for the community, for the people that you love, and even for the people that you don't know. Because I mean, these videos will be watched from people that they will say like, "Who's this guy? You know, what is he talking about?" You know. So it's really cool that you take your time to do these kind of things and just keep going, man. Like just keep going. There's a certain thing here in Guatemala that happens that when people travels to Europe and they don't achieve their goal, for example, passing the pre-selection or some other things, or they lose in the first battle, I don't know, they give up. I've seen this. I've known a lot of break dancers. I've known a lot of some other people that I don't need to mention them. They have given up and then they just like they just finish their dancing career. They say, okay, I went to Europe to do this, didn't work. Okay, everything is over. So no, just please, if you're in this kind of position, if you ever are in this kind of position, just don't give up. Just continue, okay? If you ever want to talk about something or you just want to an advice or yeah, you just want to talk, I'm here to help you. I'm telling you this right now because I know that you'll be growing more. I know that you'll be growing more. I can see it in your eyes right now. So yeah, I'm here to help you. And this is something for everybody too. Like right now, my perspective has changed. I had a lot of ego, and I was not doing it, and I was not using it in the correct way because it was good, but not in that way. So yeah, just don't give up. Continue.
Perfect, dude. Right. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it. Thank you for the episode. And we'll talk later.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks to you. And thanks to the other guy that it's in there too. What was his name? Like Vega, right?
Vega, yeah, Vega, yeah. He sends saludos to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, that's good, man. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
See you.